All right, now we got the one. Assalamu alaikum, everyone. Welcome back our Sunday meeting, reading Risale Nur. Inshallah, we're going to continue reading from 10th word, and we are almost done with the fifth truth. Inshallah, last week, uh, okay, something happened. Let's try one more time. All right. Okay, we almost finished with the fifth word so far. We've been discussing about the importance of course, I mean, just now the prayer and how important that is. And we talked about the importance of course, I mean, understanding the prayer. And last parts, like especially the underlined parts, let me just read it kind of quickly. So then that would be also kind of freshen up the importance of like now understanding the attributes of Allah. And we underlined these sentences. See, he requests eternal bliss from a being, one who is all-hearing, generous and powerful, all-seeing, merciful and knowing. That he sees, hears, and accepts in most secret wish, the most insignificant desire of the most obscure of his creatures, and observably so. He takes pity on his creatures and answers all of their pleas, even if they are offered silently. And that was the word that we underlined, even if it's silently. And then, so the last time, our discussion was, what is his plea? See, he is asking for eternal bliss for himself and his community. So we're talking about our Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So he's the one who's offering this supplication and asking for eternal bliss for himself and his community. He's asking for eternity, for paradise. He's making his plea together with all of the sacred divine names that reflect their beauty in the mirrors of all created beings. So we're going to continue, inshallah. So this was the little bit of course, I'm just that I remembered that we just last talked. And so last week, as always, and this week, so we're going to be joined by Kolnajam from England. And then we also have Uzaslan Saleh from Turkey. So they're going to be with us as panelists. And I'm going to be here just moderating as usual. And of course, we also have other brothers. And I remember like from Hikmat Jam or some others. They're going to just please feel free to just join in and share your thoughts and insights with us. All right, without further ado, let's begin our reading, and almost like we're done. So just in like one page or something, so we will be done with fifth truth. And let's see. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen wa salatu wa salam ala Rasulina Muhammadin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Bismillah. All right, so fifth truth continues like this. Is it at all possible that the flawless perfection of divine artistry and the matchless beauty of divine lordliness that we see in the order of the world would respond to his prayer with silence? Is it at all possible that the comprehensive mercy that we witness and which reduces all to bewilderment would choose not to answer his prayer and instead would allow extreme ugliness, cruelty, and disorder to hold sway? Is it at all possible? Is it possible that the most petty and insignificant desires would be granted, but the weightiest, most important desires would go unfulfilled, as though not even worthy of being considered? Is it possible that divine wisdom and mercy could fail to fulfill his requests? No, 1,000 times no. Were such beauty to accept such ugliness, it would itself become ugly. From the notes, so now just 21. There is unanimous agreement that a total reversal of a truth is impossible. It is impossible that something should become the very opposite or reverse of itself. The law of non-contradiction deems it impossible for something to become identical with its opposite while retaining its original identity. Thus, says Nursi, absolute beauty cannot become ugliness while retaining its identity as beauty. In the example, it is not possible that the beauty of divine dominicality, which is evident throughout creation, should retain its identity while becoming simultaneously the very essence of ugliness. This would be the strangest of all impossible and false notions, says Norsi. Thus, just as the prophet opened the gates of this world with his prophethood, so too does he open the gates of the hereafter with his worship. May the blessings of the compassionate one be with him, to the extent of all that this world and paradise contain. O God, grant blessings and peace to your servant and messenger, that beloved one who is the master of both realms, the pride of all the worlds, the source of life in both spheres, and the means of the attainment of happiness both here and in the hereafter. O God, bless him and his family and all of his companions, as well as his brethren from among the prophets and messengers. Amen. Now, this concludes the fifth truth, and I know it was a little kind of short, but at least maybe we owe to the listeners and of course, just ourselves to wrap it up, especially the fifth truth. And I did my best to remind each of us what we talked, the main parts actually, just the ones that we underlined. And let me just go to our panelists. Oh, before than that, so is there a question, I say? Did you want to say something?
Yes, hello. First, I
Please.
think
Yeah.
the footnote you
Hmm.
24 to the 21st footnote. It's I think an
Yes.
original. I couldn't see. It's I am not sure it's the right places. I am not sure because it
Oh,
seems like it's belonged to the sixth in context. I don't know, maybe
right.
misprinting or something.
I could be,
Uh,
or maybe just you have the old edition or something that we're reading from Conlejam's translation.
This
So
is
yeah,
this
yeah.
is
I
not in
thought.
the original. This is a translator's note.
there you go. It's not in the original, he says. Yeah, the translator
It will
himself.
Oh,
when these are properly
I see.
published, it will say translator's note after that. So here it
Uh-huh.
was the pre-publication PDF.
Yeah.
Also, dominicality
Mm,
doesn't appear anywhere in the new translation.
Hmm.
Actually, we got rid of the word dominicality because no one
Yeah.
who speaks English knows what it means. So we can't expect anyone who doesn't speak English to know what it means.
Right. Yeah.
yeah.
Mhm.
Oh, okay. Maybe I couldn't grasp
Mhm.
the all content. It was kind of yeah, it was,
Mhm.
deep than to anyway. So
Mhm.
okay, I have a few points, but I can listen first to parents. Sorry for
Mhm.
interrupting.
No, no, that's all right
Or
then. Yeah.
or I can just go ahead and first it's uh
Mhm.
the last sentence. It's there is a question here. It's is it possible the most petty and insignificant desires would be
Yeah.
granted? Uh, Two questions, 2.0 actually. It's
Mhm.
first one. Some says um, what I mean. My desires. First, okay. Let's start the simple one. What can be those most petty and insignificant desires? Can be what type of
Mhm.
desires is talking about here? Most petty and
Mhm.
insignificant desires.
Mhm.
And second, what if someone says, I mean, my desires is not fulfilled.
Mhm.
Uh, so how should we compromise
Mhm.
with this? Because it says, is it possible the most petty and
Mhm.
insignificant desires would be granted? Then the
Mhm.
greatest and most important desire would be
Mhm.
unfulfilled.
Mhm.
So for the conditional part,
Mhm.
first, what can be those most petty and insignificant desires, and second point,
Mhm.
what if someone says, I have important desires, but they are not fulfilled?
Sure.
Uh,
Okay. Mhm. Yeah.
so yeah,
Mhm.
so how should we answer if such a
Mhm.
question comes?
All right. Yeah, thank you. That's a good question. So maybe like it was, yeah, it's a nice kind of like a segue to ask, and maybe just your questions. Hopefully, just like they're gonna help us to wrap it up, like the fifth truth, and to answer. So I'm not sure like who would like to go first, but I'm gonna ask Kolnujan and or maybe Salojam. So like he's been absent for a while. Maybe we should go with him then. So Salojam, so let's just punish you, and you've been away for a long time. And now you got like two questions, and of course on top of that, so like wrapping up this fifth truth. So how can we wrap up this fifth truth with the help of two questions from Cytojam? So what would be the insignificant questions, and then let's say just someone, so like a brother, like just it's got like it's been a lot of important and significant desires and everything, but they're not answered. So what's gonna happen to this like unanswered desires and wishes and wants? So. I know it's a difficult question, but
Okay,
yeah,
I think I have no choice but to accept the punishment, I guess.
there you go. Thank you.
Um,
You're a good sport. I
but
love
but
it.
I'm prepared. Maybe if you can
Hmm.
roll down a little bit in the
Hmm.
very beginning of the sixth truth, you
Hmm.
started giving some comparison. Would you mind scrolling down a little?
Certainly, certainly. No problem. Sure.
Actually, in the first paragraph,
Hmm.
Ustad is explaining the
Hmm.
situation in this current in this universe, and it is saying, and he's saying, uh, that the divine lordliness subdues and commands all beings from atoms to suns, and it goes on like this. And
Hmm.
he's making a comparison, and he's saying that this world, this realm, this universe is going to end at some point. And to
Hmm.
my understanding, anything, any kind of manifestation that is upper bound by the life length of this universe is insignificant. But
Hmm.
anything that pertains to the hereafter is significant. I mean,
Hmm.
definitely significant. For
Hmm.
example, the life that we are living in this world and all kinds of needs we have are being sustained in some way. And all of these fall into the category of insignificant affairs. But for example, me longing for the everlasting happiness, and maybe
Hmm.
in the extreme case, my willingness, my eagerness, my
Hmm.
desire to see my Creator is
Hmm.
the most significant for me.
Hmm.
So this is kind of the answer that I can find. I don't know if this serves a purpose, but
Hmm.
this is kind of what the Ustad is saying in
Hmm.
pretty much throughout the Risale.
Hmm.
So what was the second question, if this was the
The
first
second
one?
question was the unanswered significant desires and yearnings and wants and wishes. So how one, I guess, put up with that? So I mean, or like what would be the explanation for that if my desire? I think that's why, if I understood correctly, Said, you can help me. So I have
Yes,
wishes and
it's
wants and desires, but they are not answered. So how should I understand, or how should I put up with this?
Okay, so first of
Mhm.
all, answering is a different, it
Mhm.
has to be understood
Mhm.
carefully because, I
Mhm.
guess it was in 23rd where it started saying that
Mhm.
Allah is responding to or receiving all of the questions, all of the prayers, and
Mhm.
this itself is a big kind of mercy from the divine side to the created beings, because at the end of the day, what
Mhm.
hurts man the most is lack of a peer. For example, so
Mhm.
this was something that I learned while after I got married, actually. Uh,
Mhm.
there are different levels of interactions or relations, actually. In the
Mhm.
best case, both parties are responsive to each other's needs.
Mhm.
And the second one is there are clashes between the parties, so there is
Mhm.
still some sort of interaction, but
Mhm.
the relations are not smooth. And the
Mhm.
worst one is the one in which there is no interaction. So
Mhm.
one party or both parties are do not even caring about the other.
Mhm.
And one of the biggest kind of punishments that one would receive, Allah forbid, is that in the Yawm al-Qiyamah, in the day of judgment, Allah is not going to look at some of his creation because they are sinners, and he will
Mhm.
not talk to them, and those people will not be able to even see them because they will be resurrected blind. So this is
Mhm.
complete lack of interaction. So in that respect, the relation between a Muslim, a mu'min, and Allah is falling into the first category, hopefully, because the the creation, the human is praying, like
Mhm.
offering prayers and doing salah and so on and so forth, and Allah is responding in some way. So this is the best that could happen in this world. But the the complete manifestation or fulfillment of
Mhm.
those responses is not going to happen in this world. Maybe uh, we feeling that we are not being given a response is because the time has not yet come.
Mhm. Mhm.
That might be one of the many answers that I can think of. But Allah is responding, and
Mhm.
I know from the hadith that
Mhm.
sometimes Allah does not fulfill what the abd is asking for, but keeps record of it and then
Mhm.
gives the same or better in the hereafter.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
this latency should not be deceiving
Mhm.
us, but just know our place in this kind of
Mhm.
uh,
Awesome.
this relation, and
Mhm.
just continue what we are supposed to do.
Certainly, certainly. Yeah, good answer. Thank you. Thank you, sir. Yeah, great comment. Yeah. Now let's just go to Konluja. So I'm kind of curious, like, so, yeah, what would you like to add to what Salih said, and how would you like to answer Said's question and wrapping up this fifth truth?
Well, I was just going to say that Saleh hasn't been for a few weeks, so you should make him
Mhm.
speak for another 10 minutes. Really.
Maybe we should. That's a good suggestion.
Uh, it's interesting as you were
Mhm.
talking and as Said
Mhm.
was framing the question. I
Right.
took a sip of my drink. I have a
Mhm.
bottle here of water.
Mhm.
I took a sip of water, right? That sip of water, uh, that was a dua, right?
Mhm.
Now, maybe I didn't actually articulate a dua.
Mhm.
Maybe I didn't say Ya Razak. Maybe I didn't even say Bismillah. But the fact that
Mhm.
I wanted the water was a
Mhm.
dua. The fact that I got the water was
Mhm.
a rahmah from Allah. It
Yeah.
was a response.
Mhm.
Now, this kind of trivial, apparently trivial
Mhm.
uh, thing, action,
Mhm.
occurs multiple times a day, maybe millions of times, and we don't realize.
Of
You
course.
know, like you
Mhm.
scratch your skin because you're itching,
Mhm.
or you stand up, or you turn a light on. All of
Mhm.
these are responses. What if it happens? It's a response, right? Because you can't create
Absolutely.
it.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So, and they're very trivial in comparison with the big things that we want, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
Um, so if Allah is constantly, countless times a day, millions of times a day, He's answering our trivial needs,
Mhm.
why wouldn't He, something as big as Akhirah,
Mhm.
which He knows that we want,
Mhm.
why would He answer my prayer to take a sip of water and not answer my prayer to give me
Mhm.
eternal life?
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's quite clear that if He answers one thing, He can answer the other because He is Allah. As for
Mhm.
prayers not being answered, well, it depends really what we're praying for, right?
Yeah.
If you know, if I say I want to win Wimbledon tennis,
Mhm.
right, which is the most important, because I used to play tennis.
Nice.
I
Yeah.
did when I was a kid. I
Mhm.
used to play for the county, and
Awesome.
it was my like I wanted then at the age of
Mhm.
15, 16 to become a great tennis player, go to Wimbledon, win everything. Now
Mhm.
I didn't because things happened and it never happened. Now at this age, if I
Mhm.
say I want to become the Wimbledon champion, Allah, please give me what I wanted then. It's never ever going to happen.
Yeah.
Never.
Yeah.
There's no way that I can win Wimbledon now.
Mhm.
So it depends on the kind and the texture and the color and the direction of the prayer.
Mhm.
I'm asking for something that doesn't make sense because there's no way that's going to happen. Okay,
Yeah.
unless it's a miracle, right?
Mhm.
And why would there be a miracle for something so silly?
Yeah.
Saleh was on the right track when he said,
Mhm.
some things are delayed, for example. If I say, if it's 8 in the morning and I say, I really want to pray Maghrib now, well, you can't because
It's
it's
not
not
time.
Maghrib yet.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know, when it's Maghrib, inshallah, Allah will allow you to pray.
Yeah.
So some things that we ask for, it's not time. And because we're very impatient, we
Mm-hmm.
think that, it's like me when I pray for patience, right? Because I'm very
Mm-hmm.
impatient. I say, Allah, give me patience, but give it to me now, right? And this is, I mean, it's a contradiction.
Yeah,
It's a
yeah,
contradiction. You have to wait until the time. Sometimes it's not good for you,
yeah.
it's not good for you.
Mm-hmm.
So Allah doesn't give it to you because if He loves you, and He loves all of us, He doesn't
Mm-hmm.
want what's bad for you unless you importune Him, unless you make israr, and you carry on and carry on and carry on. And sometimes He gives it to you just to show you how bad it is.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes that happens as well. So it depends on, if this is the second question of Said's, it
Yeah.
depends on the kind of prayer it is. It depends on the context. It depends on how irrational the
Mm-hmm.
desire is.
Yeah.
It depends on lots of things.
Yeah.
But Allah never ignores.
Mm-hmm.
Silence
Mm-hmm.
and not answering is not ignoring.
Not
It's
anymore.
giving you what you need at that moment.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. What's
We have
most
to interpret
important that,
silence, right? If you're
mm-hmm.
sitting with someone and we're talking, and suddenly the other person
Mm-hmm.
becomes silent,
Mm-hmm.
well, that's showing me something. Have I said something wrong? Is that person angry with me? There are lots and lots of reasons why there is
Right,
silence.
right, right.
But Allah never ignores. He
Mm-hmm.
never ignores. Silence is not ignoring. Silence is a different kind of response. That's all.
Yeah,
Thanks.
yeah, yeah. Just waiting for the time, the right time. Yes, sir. Thank you, Hamza. Appreciate it. All right, I'd like to go in order. So, like now, I see two hands. Let's start with Ali Jam. So you've been away for a while. So what would you like to say? So,
Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam, sir.
Especially related to the fifth
Mhm,
truth,
mhm,
I want to remember
mhm,
the important reality, which is this.
mhm,
But let's remember together that we have, as a human being, numberless needs.
mhm,
Some are material needs, the other
mhm,
spiritual needs.
mhm,
Looks to the spirit, looks to the body.
mhm.
And in the material needs, the most important, I think we can say, first one is oxygen, air.
Oh, absolutely.
But
Yeah. Mhm,
but the eternal life is the biggest, the most important need of every human being. Why? I think
mhm.
we can remember this in other place of the Risale-i-Nur. It is
Yeah.
stated, but I can't
Mhm,
remember now where it is.
mhm,
The biggest one, more
mhm,
important than the oxygen. Why?
mhm,
Because if there was no eternal life,
mhm.
even oxygen, cars, salary, good salary, large house, and all material
Yeah.
sustenance would be disaster.
Yeah.
The
Meaningless.
person who doesn't know their meanings and
Mhm,
gives pain, the more the person reaches the material needs. If a
mhm,
person doesn't know the hereafter, the more
mhm,
the pain comes to his heart, because one day we'll lose all of them when
mhm,
it is unknown.
mhm,
That's why it is said that in Risale, as far as I remember, the
mhm,
biggest need of human being is eternal life, not
mhm,
oxygen, air, water,
mhm, mhm,
because all material needs are beautiful or bounty with hereafter.
mhm,
Without hereafter, all of them becomes a problem or disaster or pain. That's why Almighty Allah, with His mercy, gives everything we need, even
mhm,
the smallest one,
mhm,
uh, some delicious foods, for example.
mhm,
And Allah Almighty is sending them to each of us in a specific way, in a special way, to our name.
mhm,
In
mhm,
the fifth, even the fifth truth, Ustad is telling these realities. Ustad notices the biggest need of human being, which is eternal life.
mhm,
Which, if Allah Hasha doesn't give the eternal life, the eternal life to the human being,
mhm,
this becomes everything is this transforms everything meaningless.
mhm,
But universe is proclaiming that all sciences, from physics to chemist, all sciences, not saying, proclaiming that everything is meaningful. meaningful in the universe. The sciences are witnessing that everything is meaningful. But
Yeah.
without knowing hereafter, in the view of this unbeliever, everything is in fact meaningless. But
Hmm.
the universe is saying everything is meaningful.
Yeah.
This shows that the existence of the hereafter is
Hmm.
more than or clearer than the universe.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Awesome. Awesome. Yeah, I really enjoyed. Yeah, thank you so much. Great comment, Ilham. Yeah, appreciate it. Yeah, perfect answer. Now, yeah, let's go to Kadir Hocam. So, yeah, he was waiting.
Last week we also talked about how Allah respond to our supplication. I remember
Hmm.
the panelist also talked about one of the verse in Quran. Allah
Hmm.
responds to our supplication, but it
Hmm.
doesn't mean that Allah gives whatever we want. Sometimes Allah delays it, postpones it.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
Ali Hocam also talks about for the hereafter, we supplicate and we want a lot of things, but sometimes we do not think about the hereafter version. We
Hmm.
generally want the worldly life events. For
Hmm.
example, in my life, I just want to give a short example.
Hmm.
In the past, I applied to one of the university in Kahramanmaraş to work as an academician there, and
Hmm.
my all grades were really perfect. And one of my friend, he told me that you are gonna be accepted there, and I was very happy. I was living in Adana, and Adana and Maraş is very close to each other.
Hmm.
But all of the result, the director didn't accept my paper, even though it was 100. And I was
Hmm.
very sad at that time. But finally, 3 years later, I think 2 years late, no, sorry, 5 years later, a great earthquake happened in Kahramanmaraş. And
Yeah.
then I
Hmm.
realized that
Yeah.
one of my friends and their family, they were all dead, for example. And after
Yeah.
my
Hmm.
supplication, after my events that I saw the
Hmm.
events maybe 10 years later, Allah
Hmm.
didn't accept my application at that time, and it was higher for me,
Of
maybe
course. Yeah.
to survive in the life. So
Right.
sometimes we cannot see the qadar's
Hmm.
the final
Yeah.
decision. We don't see
Hmm.
it.
Hmm.
We
Hmm.
just want it. So we have to be careful about that, and we need to
Hmm.
continue our prayer or
Hmm. Hmm.
supplication for the
Hmm.
hereafter, not only for this world too.
For the smart life. Yeah, yeah. Awesome, awesome. Yeah, absolutely. Great example. Great example. Appreciate it, Kadir Hocam. Yeah. Now I see another hand. Yeah, Hüseyin Hocam. So he'd like to say something. Please go ahead.
Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam, Hüseyin Hocam. Please. Yeah.
Can you hear me all?
Yes, yeah, we can hear
So
you. Mhm.
when we look at the created, we see that almost often the case is that their needs are addressed by the creator,
Mhm.
and when those times when they are not addressed or carried out or not given,
Mhm.
it depends on uh, the hikmah of the creator, because this world, this transient world, is darul hikmah, and so,
Mhm.
certain names of God limits
Mhm.
the manifestation of this specific name,
Mhm.
caregiver, right?
Mhm.
And also see, you know if they are always met and addressed by the creator, then human mind can easily be misled to think that they might be referenced, referred to the causes, asbab. But
Mhm.
since they are sometimes not met, not
Mhm.
addressed
Mhm.
or given, we understand that there is a ulterior authority who
Mhm.
decides on, you know, to give or when and how. So by this way of thinking, we understand that dominantly all needs are given, provided by God, and that
Mhm.
God is compassionate. And
Mhm.
how on earth would it be possible to think that the most beloved human being, Muhammad's والسلام, question and seeking it will not be responded and answered. So that's
Hmm.
what I'm.
Hmm. Awesome, awesome. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, great. Yeah, just great addition. Like, yeah, awesome. I like that. Synergism, appreciate it. Now, let's just go back to our panelists, Konlajam and Salajam, one more time. What would you like to add after all these great comments from our listeners? Would you like to add more and share more insight about the fifth truth and, of course, what they have told us? Konlajam?
No, I have nothing to add really. It was all excellent. All of the input was
Excellent, right?
excellent.
Yeah, awesome, awesome. Yeah. Anything else from Salajam?
Well, so I have taken a note and I have set an alarm so
Please, please.
that
Yeah, share with us. Yeah.
reminds me. I don't know
Mhm.
which of the brothers have said this in the last week, but Rasulullah is the sole authority in teaching us how to ask.
Mhm.
And in one of the hadiths, he's saying that we should be insisting. We should
Mhm.
not be giving up the prayers.
Mhm.
And it often happens to me that I sometimes pray for friends and relatives. Some of them are not praying,
Mhm.
unfortunately.
Mhm.
And I
Mhm.
have been insisted on that, like continuing for the same prayer, maybe weeks, months, and even
Mhm.
sometimes years, but it's never
Yeah.
accepted. So
Mhm.
this gives me the impression that, okay, so asking for something, absolutely good, which is like that
Mhm.
person, you want that person to be seeking for his creator or her creator, and
Mhm.
then, do the prayers and be a, competent Muslim in
Mhm.
terms of, fighting against the nafs and
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
shaitan.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
these look to be like
Mhm.
extremely, good thing to ask for, but
Yeah, you're
it's
innocent. Yeah.
often the case
Mhm.
that they are not accepted. So this gives me the impression that
Mhm.
so Allah is the one who bestows hidayah,
Mhm.
right? We know
Yeah,
this from
absolutely. Yeah.
Ismi Ahad, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
But my understanding is, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, sometimes that person might be in such a bad act against his or her creator that no prayer would, penetrate through this, mud and, open a door for that person to
Mhm.
ask for forgiveness or step into the realm of prayer and gaining knowledge. So Allah might not be willing to accept
Mhm.
some of those, query some of those, du'as, maybe
Mhm.
because uh, there are things that doesn't align with his hikmah, or maybe that person is not, although he or she has the opportunity, not fulfilling his responsibility. So this is one other kind of extreme condition that comes to my mind when I see that some of the
Mhm.
prayers, although they have been so reasonable and has been continued for even years, is not accepted. I
Right.
don't know what you would say, Colin
Mhm.
Hocam, about this.
Yeah, yeah. That that's a tough one. Yeah, just that all made remind. I mean, just we all must have thought about exact the same thing. Just I hear you, Salajam. Yeah, I appreciate it. Actually, just now I've also kind of like an experienced this similar kind of stuff. But that reminds me always the one story about between like our prophet and his uncle. So just yeah, I mean, he's the one who just prayed a lot, but just. But yeah, just I guess like there must be so many reasons that we are not able to see, I guess. But yeah, as you just like started with the right one, so he has the one, so he's the Anis al Muqallib al Qulub. So yeah, the hearts are in his hands, so like not in ours. But yeah, maybe just Kul Najam would like to say a lot more kind of stuff than I do. Yeah.
I don't think so, really.
Mhm.
Are we talking about praying for someone, for example, whom we love, that they be
Yes,
guided?
sir. Yeah, innocently. Yeah.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Again,
Mhm.
I have a lot of discussions with friends about this
Mhm.
because I mean, all of us who have children, without going into detail, there is always one child, maybe, or two even,
Mhm.
that you wish they would come to the path, right? I
Mhm.
have
Mhm.
friends who complain to me, and I sometimes complain to friends, and we don't know. Maybe they will. If you've done what you can do,
Yeah.
maybe they will. And you have to bear in mind that
Mhm.
the context of your loved one or relative is
Mhm.
completely different. You can't be inside their world. You don't
Yeah.
know their imtihan.
Right. Yeah.
It may be that they are
Mhm.
not, um, how can I say this without sounding jabri? Maybe it is not in their, it's not maktub for them because of
Mhm.
their own choices
Your own choice.
to
Yeah.
become the kind of person that
Mhm.
you want them to be.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
Allah will judge them on the imtihan that He's given them. There are
Yeah.
so many, I mean, I have so many relatives who are completely away from Islam,
Mhm.
obviously,
Oh yeah.
because
Yeah.
of my
We all have
situation.
that. Yeah.
But
Mhm.
they will be judged not by my criteria, but by Allah's criteria.
Well, that's great.
So
Yeah.
I don't worry about them at all.
Mhm. Mhm.
I don't make dua even that, maybe generally I make dua that everyone will come to Allah's an
Mhm.
understanding of Allah. But
Mhm.
everyone has an imtihan. Not everyone meets Islam.
Mhm.
Even your own child may
Yeah.
not,
Yeah.
depending on how you treat them. I mean, if you're in a family which is just a family of cultural Muslims, how do you expect your child to become a
Mhm.
believer? Just because you pray and fast without thinking,
Mhm.
because your parents did it.
Yeah.
Do you expect your children to be
Mhm.
exactly the same as you? No,
Mhm.
they may be questioning. They may be saying, well, I don't want to be like you because you do it without thinking. And then
Mhm.
maybe they will go on to investigate, and maybe in years' time they will change. So we
Mhm.
don't, we shouldn't worry about this. I
Mhm.
don't give it too much thought at all.
Mhm. Mhm.
Obviously, you want what's best for your children, but if you've
Mhm.
done your duty,
Mhm.
what else can you do?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Not our business after that,
Mhm. Yeah.
unfortunately.
Yeah, unfortunately, yeah, it's not our business. Yeah, like I would, yeah, we just yeah, pray that it's just again, yeah, he's the one who's got the control, and yeah, awesome.
Natif abi, one adding here.
Please, yeah,
Uh,
go ahead, Khadija.
a father's supplication for
Mhm.
his son or daughter is like a prophet's supplication to his people.
Mhm.
So even as Colin Hocam said that we have
Mhm.
to supplicate for our children too, because sometimes our children do not do their
Mhm.
duties too. So
Mhm.
not giving up and always continuing for supplicating, and Allah will
Mhm.
decide finally. We have to
Mhm.
continue for
Yeah.
praying.
Mhm. Yeah, absolutely. Maybe it's our job like to continue praying or just have good thoughts, and maybe just again like Kolajam said, yeah, just accept the fact that yeah, just because like we just recited in Jafshan, so and yeah, muqallib al-qulub and nisal qulub, so yeah, he's the one. So again, it's not my business. Yeah, like Kolajam said, yeah. So
So
we
actually, my intention was the kind of,
please, yeah.
of course, I would want to hear
Mhm. Mhm.
brothers' answers, and I,
Mhm.
especially in the chat screen, there are a lot of comments which
Mhm.
kind of shed light, and Colonel
Mhm.
had very nice comments. At the end of the day, it is not our
Mhm.
duty, ultimate duty.
Mhm.
But as all of our things are aligned with the fact that uh,
Mhm.
we praying does not necessarily mean that it will be
Mhm.
accepted, because at the end of the day, the final
Mhm.
authority who is going to decide whether that
Mhm.
dua is going to be fulfilled or not is Allah. And this
Mhm.
is one fact that is necessitated by Iman. He's the boss. I mean, in
Mhm.
naively speaking, he at the end of the day, he is the one who makes the final decision. And
Mhm.
as a part of our iman, I think this is something that
Mhm.
we have to uh,
Mhm.
admit, embrace, and
Mhm.
take
Mhm.
completely.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So just admit it's our like maybe just a test and everything. So accept it and just be content with it. Yeah, awesome. And there's some chat like just quickly let's see what we have quickly. So yeah, there's some good like this been share messages been shared in the chat box. So like a doctor example, yeah, we talked about it. So from Sunmaz and he says you desire something from doctor, he gives indirectly or in a better form. And then Kunlajam said, yeah, sometimes the doctor refuses to give you the medication you think you need. and he knows that you really don't need it, and if you're like gonna give it to you, it could be like very dangerous. And Alojam shared like just, yeah, if I had not given wanted to give, I would not have given wanting. Yeah, absolutely, yeah. And then Sunmaz again so shared our souls are created and last forever because they're connected to ever living in Quran, so everything will perish except his face. Yeah, likewise, prophethood is connect to hereafter. Yeah. Awesome. Yeah. Thank you so much for the comments and the chat box. Yeah, really great comments. Appreciate it. All right. So I think like we talked a little bit about Sixth Truth. Maybe we can just read only a couple paragraphs and then just continue talking. And then just as Salujam, like I mentioned, it also gives a little bit of kind of just some answer for the and or maybe just what we discussed. And it would be nice, like in a segue to start Sixth Truth, and inshallah we'll continue next week what we just talked a little bit about. All right, let's just read a little more, just maybe one paragraph or so, and then continue discussing. Sixth Truth. The gate of splendor and eternity, the manifestation of the names glorious Al-Jalil and eternal Al-Baqi. The splendor of divine lordliness subdues and commands all beings, from atoms to suns, from particles to trees, and turns them into obedient soldiers. Is it at all possible, then, that divine lordliness should concentrate its entire attention on these wretched beings that pass brief lives here in this temporary abode, and not create an eternal realm of everlasting splendor in which to manifest itself unendingly? Consider the changing of the seasons and the sublime motions of the planets, which move like airplanes through the heavens. Consider how Earth acts as humankind's cradle and the sun as its lamp, and how all things are subjugated to human beings for their use. Consider the awesome transformations that are taking place all the time, such as the revival and decoration of the dry, dead earth each spring. All of these things show that behind the veil, a sublime lordliness exists. They show that behind closed doors, a most splendid kingship has the reins of all things in its hand. All right, this is a nice one to maybe discuss. And of course, I mean, it's a great kind of like this wrapping up, like this is what we have talked about, and what a great like this contemplation to exercise to each day, and for all of us to get rid of this laziness and to get rid of this maybe familiarity, to break it and consider over and over, as just mentioned right here, like now we just talked. Now, yeah, let's go back to our like in a panelist one last time, like for the last like just maybe 10, 15 minutes to gather our thoughts and just maybe share like more insights and more comments. Let's just follow the order. So let's begin with you, and then yeah, we'll go to Kulnajam next.
I thought I have completed my extra 10 minutes.
Yeah, we're giving you another 10 minutes of torture.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so this
Uh-huh.
truth is about El Jalil and El Baqi. So
Yes.
these names, the first one, I guess, is pointing to how this universe is governed with Jalal. And Baqi is referring to the fact that this Jalali manifestations cannot be doomed to end because they are, so strong, they are so, firm, and Allah as Himself is Baqi. So these types of manifestations, this way or that way, should continue. Rasulullah alayhi salatu wasalam's best friends are companions, the Sahaba, and in their path there is no like karamat or extreme occasions like the ones we see with the awliya. But Ustad is saying that their path is the highest of the highest because they are directly taking the lectures, their lessons from Rasulullah. And Ustad at some point was mentioning that the method that the methods that the Risale-i Nur is introducing to the reader is in somehow having the same kind of methodology, and it is teaching how to refer to the hakikat by just observing the manifestations. I mean, from what we are making shahada for, from that we can directly, infer the hakikat. So
Yeah.
this paragraph is a brief and nice manifestation of this style in the Risale-i Nur. Ustad is going through all of those big letters, big words written with big font sizes, the sun, the season, the planets, and so on and so forth. And then is asking for the reader to infer what could be behind the veil. So this basically, this style, this pedagogic method, I believe, is kind of laying the foundation of Risale-i Nur. And while you're reading, a part of your imagination, your inner eye should be visualizing or drawing those scenes inside your brain, the planets and the clouds floating by, the blue sky, and the birds, flying. All of these should come to your mind, and then at that point, all of a sudden you say, "Oh, these are beautiful, and I want these to persist."
Yeah, yeah. I remember like it's been one of the brothers like we were reading, so he said like this would be awesome to like especially when we are reading like 10th word or maybe the sprim sign, right? And then having just this presentation right behind you, a beautiful kind of PowerPoint like it's been showing tons of like the pictures of the trees and everything, the stars and planets and this and that. That'd be nice to like it's been the contemplation. It would help, especially for this young generation and everything. But thank you. That's a good that's a good thinking, like Sanuja. Appreciate it. Kumdujan, what would you like to add uh, for the last
I
for
think
this?
Silo put that beautifully, actually.
Didn't he? Didn't he? Yeah.
Yeah, I think we should hear
Uh,
more from him
yeah,
next
absolutely.
week and the
Absolutely.
week after and the week
Yeah,
after that.
continue torturing him.
Inshallah. Yeah,
You
yeah,
get
continue with the
chances.
touch. I think there are two things here.
Mhm,
I mean, Allah is Mudabber al-Amr, right?
mhm.
Um, he is Mudabber. He organizes and he looks after and I mean, there's this word disposal, which they always use, disposer of affairs.
Yeah.
But he is Mudabber.
Yeah. Yeah.
Why?
Mhm,
For fun? Of course, there is a reason to it. We can
mhm.
infer reasons for it.
It must be.
And the fact that everything is subdued and is put at our disposal, actually, is put in our service. The
Mhm,
Malaika bow
mhm,
down
mhm.
to us. What does that mean? It means Allah has subjugated the Malaika to our whims and desires.
Desires.
Because,
Yeah.
where there is creation, there is also angelic activity.
Mhm, mhm.
So this is all happening anyway.
Yeah. Yeah.
So if Allah is doing this to all beings, right?
Yeah.
Concentrating, why would he concentrate on beings that are not going to live forever? What's
Mhm.
the point? What's the
Yeah.
end game
Mhm.
in this? And secondly, if we have any doubt that we are created for eternity, our desires are not within the Alamul Mulk.
Mhm.
Desires are malakuti. They are part of malakut. They are part
Mhm.
of our lata'if, right?
Not nice. Yeah.
Wanting, which is an absence, first of all. You
Mhm.
want something because you don't have it. And that
Mhm.
longing is tied very, very closely to this notion of something which doesn't actually have an external existence, but we feel
Mhm.
it, and that shows
Mhm.
us that it is malakuti.
Mhm.
It is one of our lata'if, and
Mhm.
those lata'if are timeless. And
Wow.
Allah
Yeah.
creates timelessly.
Mhm.
Allah
Mhm.
creates eternally.
Mhm.
Allah doesn't say kun fayakun, kun fayakun all the time.
Yeah.
There is one kun actually, and that everything exists in front of him, and Allah. With Allah,
Mhm.
now everything exists. Everything that we're going to do in the future, everything we've done in the past, every change of decision,
Mhm.
everything is with him.
Yeah.
Um, we should take consolation from the fact that much of what we do and much of what we feel and how we think, how we imagine, how we love, how we desire, these are in malakut. these are already timeless.
Mm.
So we are stretched between the
Mhm.
timeless and the timed. We are stretched between malakut and mulk.
Milk.
So the
Mhm.
desire that you have is not timed, you know.
Mhm.
The
Yeah.
feeling that you have, the mindset that you have,
Mhm.
these intuitive things, the intuition itself, these are qalbi things.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they don't have any instantiation in external creation. So in other
Mhm.
words, you can't touch them. They're not timed in the sense of, beginning and end. We
Yeah.
come into the world desiring, and we go out of the world desiring, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
So we should take consolation from the fact that we are already
Mhm.
engaging with the timeless and eternal realm, al-akhirah. It's the other
Awesome.
world, right?
Awesome. Yeah.
Not the
Yeah.
one that
Yeah.
comes at the end of life.
Yeah.
It's there now.
It's there
We are
now.
we are in we are alam shahada or alam al mulk or al
Mhm.
hayat dunya, which is the closest and the
Mhm.
nearest and also the lowest, the very lowest.
Yeah.
Uh, but the other one, we are partially there already
Yeah.
because our ruh is from there. Al
Absolutely.
latayef are from there.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we shouldn't doubt that there
Mhm.
is a timeless, eternal realm because we're already part of it.
Mhm.
That's all.
Yeah, awesome, awesome. Yeah, absolutely. Great, great comment. Appreciate it. Yeah, Hijab. Yeah, that just like it helps if you actually just to put everything in just in perspective, like as been saying from that side. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Thinking about mechanism in that way, just yeah, awesome. I really enjoyed listening, especially this part, and just having this little bit of kind of moment of contemplation for myself. Yeah, anyone else who would like to chime in, or from Saudi Jam, or anyone else again?
Uh,
Mhm.
Kolraja made an
Mhm.
extremely, niche point. I have to appreciate Hojam.
Yeah.
And this makes me think that maybe the reason why every type of creation, with a long or a short period, perpetuating, it happens again and again. The seasons are,
Mhm.
coming one after the other, but it is, you know,
Mhm.
coming back onto itself. And the days are, morning, noon, and evening comes, and the next day a new day starts. So this reminds me again of a metaphor that Ustad is using, which is about the bubbles
Mhm.
that float on the surface of a river. So
Yeah.
as the river is flowing,
Mhm.
the reflection of the sun on those small bubbles, or whatever the correct word was, correct me if I'm wrong, but they are coming, passing, and then disappearing, coming, passing, and disappearing.
Mhm.
So this metaphor, this example is extremely beautiful because the thing that hurts the most is uh, everything that we appreciate, everything that we like, everything that we love is fading away over time. And I'm over my 40, and I started to feel this. My end is getting closer, but there, so I have my mother and father, and I can
Mhm.
see, not directly, but behind their faces, I can see that they are aware that they are getting old.
Mhm.
And this is yes, this saddens me. This is a very heartbreaking thing. But
Mhm.
when I was talking to my father, I was just saying, I mean, there shouldn't be a problem because at the end of the day, you're Muslim, you're praying, and
Mhm.
that should not be a big deal. So this perpetual motion in the
Mhm.
universe, every good, beautiful, nice thing is coming back again after they go back, is maybe just because Allah is sending them from the timeless realms to this
Mhm.
time realm,
Mhm.
and this is how He is giving us a glimpse of what is awaiting for the believer in the hereafter.
Mhm. Yeah, 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 absolutely. Yeah, great, great comment. Of course, yeah, we always should be in that sort of kind of like in a perspective, and thinking about like just the future, and this world is not the only one. And as just Kunajam put, like it's a really nice kind of way of kind of thinking about it. So like where we are coming from and where we're heading and our desires and everything, if we learn to distinguish between them and inshallah and just keep investing and learning, studying, and of course, I mean, improving our iman, and which is the most important thing for us. Again, like we repeatedly talked about it from Ali Jam's comments and everything, which is like it's been so like our only kind of goal, and inshallah improve our knowledge of like understanding Allah and His muhabbatullah. And yeah, inshallah, it's just like hereafter shouldn't be any problem as you guys just put everything articulately seriously. And inshallah, yeah, the eternal life is there, inshallah, and so it's gonna be like as clear as like our iman, inshallah. Really appreciate it. Any last words from our listeners or anything from panelists before we call Alujam to just make dua, inshallah.
Saleh's last point was very
Mhm.
beautiful
Yeah, yeah, it's
about the bubbles on the water, and then
uh,
he sort of pivoted to his parents and the idea of
yeah, yeah,
aging. But they are also
mhm,
bubbles on the water, and bubbles
uh,
reappear.
yeah,
So the river is constant. The river
constant.
flows, but the bubbles change, but they are from the source. So if they're
So
from that source,
yeah,
then they will reappear
they
in
reappear.
in a more beautiful form, even,
Yeah,
inshallah.
beautiful, inshallah, inshallah. Yes, sir.
So,
Yes,
so
here,
Üstad
here.
is saying in Turkish nimetteki inamı görmek. Seeing, help me,
Mm-hmm.
Nazif Hocam, seeing,
Mm-hmm.
how should this be translated?
Nimetteki iman.
So the nima is itself
Mm-hmm.
is showing the giving of nima. So
Mm-hmm.
once you see the giving, the action uh,
Mm-hmm.
of nima, then things change a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Being in constant contemplation and having the awareness and consciousness of
Mm-hmm.
seeing things from that perspective is of crucial importance, and
Yeah,
it requires a lot of effort. And these type of discussions is helping on that a lot.
absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, seeing, absolutely. Yeah, just the bounties, right? So like this.
Especially if you come every week.
That's
Yeah, yeah.
hocam,
Yeah, yeah, you got caught. It's gonna keep reminding you. Yeah, sure. All right. Thank you so much. Yeah, really, again, like it's on our panelists, Kun Jam, Salo Jam. We really appreciate it for grateful, like your insights, your comments, and also our other listeners from like Hussein Jam to Kadir Jam to Alu Jam, and all of you guys. Really appreciate it, and I'd like to see you guys every week, as Kun Jam mentioned.
Inshallah. Thank you
Sure.
very much, Nazif, for
Thank you.
a
You're
lovely
welcome.
session.
So, yeah, my pleasure, sir. Hello, let's invite you, inshallah, if you're still there. So, like, just, inshallah, recite some Quran and make dua for us. If not, we can.
Najam, I think he's here.
He's gone. Okay, so then it's your job then, just Jam, please.
إن شاء الله. سبحانك لا علم لنا إلا ما علمتنا إنك أنت العليم الحكيم. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. والعصر إن الإنسان لفي خسر إلا الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات وتواصوا بالحق وتواصوا بالصبر. صدق الله العظيم. اللهم فهمنا أسرار القرآن ووفقنا لخدمته في كل آل وآن وزمان. آمين. Oh Allah, grant us understandings of mysteries of the Quran and success in the service of it at every instant, at all times. آمين. وآخر دعوانا أن الحمد لله رب العالمين. الفاتحة.